What's up, gamers? Rainy Potato here with the best builds for the Leper in Darkest Dungeon 2. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every day. The Leper is a big HP hero with two good paths, each playing very distinct roles, with Tempest being a big damage nuker and Poet being a giga tank. Let's talk Tempest first. This is his big DPS path, taking away his HP. He has enough to spare, thankfully, while boosting his chop damage, reducing his speed, and buffing his disease and debuff resist. This last part is crucial in keeping blind off your Leper. For this build, obviously chop is the centerpiece of your strategy. Solemnity always goes on your bar as well, as arguably the best self-heal in the game. I usually pack on reflection as well, at least early, as a blind clear and alternate stress heal. The last two skills depend heavily on the rest of your comp and what you want to accomplish. I usually pack revenge. You don't use it every fight, but it's the easiest form of scaling you have on offer. If you're a rank 1 Leper, Purge can be useful if you have no other form of corpse clear, and it's also good against Librarian to move book stacks. Withstand is a solid move. Your Tempest isn't really a tank, but he can be a sort of off tank, and this can help protect his HP along with the dot resist. If you have a team with Daze, normally man-at-arms, then Bash can be a decent option, and is also useful against the Harvest Child. In the Tangle, and against the Act 2 and 3 bosses, you can use Break to deal with block generation. Ruin is a boss equip only, and requires an upgrade and the knowledge of how to use it. Usually I like it only with Jester for the Encore cheese. Tempest is sort of inflexible in positioning and targeting. He can be in either front rank, but you have to take care not to get him moved to rank 3 where he does literally nothing, and he obviously can't hit anything in the back row. With Tempest, blind is less of a concern, but you still generally want some combo here. Occultist is good since you can both pull backline and combo in the same move, letting you nuke the back row with ease. Virtuoso Jester is ideal. He can set early combos for you and get Encore up, which can help preserve the Ruin stack if you force Leper to reuse it before it runs out. As said before, with his HP and dot resist, he's not really a tank, so I like pairing him with man-at-arms most of the time, and some sort of reach in the back. Alchemist works well in this case, giving you dot application, back row reach, and a healer. He's also pretty good with Vestal, since Consecration of Light Plus can get you crit tokens. For trinkets, you're looking for flat damage and crit generation if you can get it, crit especially for scaling. HP isn't bad either as a secondary option, since it applies the buff on his base HP rather than his adjusted HP for an incredible boost. For Mastery, Chop is your priority upgrade, usually in 2, as you not only get the impressive damage scaling, but it also reduces blind chance further. Revenge, Reflection, Solemnity are all core upgrades. I almost always get Revenge first, ideally about in 2 if you can swing the Mastery. Reflection and Solemnity depends on the run. Reflection gives you a no cooldown stress heal, while Solemnity just boosts the regular heal. Reflection is also a combo clear, making it elite against the Exemplar. Ruin is usually a Mountain Inn upgrade if you're planning on utilizing it. Despite mostly being a chop bot, he's fairly versatile against most of the bosses with his utility skills, with Bash handling the Harvest Child, Purge aiding against the Librarian, and the Block Strip helping against many of the Act bosses. He does falter a bit against these Act bosses because of token generation as far as damage goes, but with the right setup he can deliver stronger blows than any other hero in the game. Poet goes the opposite way, being a pure tank build. You lose damage in exchange for move resist, stress resist, and increased self-heal. This is a rank 1 only build with a handful of spammable skills, including no cooldown taunt, making it easy to keep your team clean. Poet is only a rank 1 hero, with her whole kit being based around that. He has 2 core skills. Intimidate is his no cooldown or use limit taunt, capable of hitting any position with 2 weak tokens. Withstand is his other taunt, giving him constant block generation along with dot resists. And Solemnity is his juiced heal, offering usually a full heal on upgrade. To round out the kit, I usually equip Purge for the corpse clear and movement to really mess with enemy team comps, and Bash, which is a useful daze that can obviously turn to stun in the right comp. Break is usable in the same scenarios as before. Reflection is an equip sometimes too for the extra stress heal, and certainly against the Exemplar for the combo removal. The rest of the skills aren't relevant at all. Poet is a rank 1 only hero, so he can use his Intimidate. He does not like mobile comps at all because of this, so that's a couple important limitations. He's self-sufficient as far as heals and stress goes, and he's obviously a primary tank, but usually you still want to stress heal and HP heal somewhere else on your team for the rest of the comp as an emergency. Since Poet does literally 0 damage, you need to pair him with DPS, so Highwayman, Finale Jester, and Plague Doctor are all solid fits. You can actually pair him with a Man-at-Arms as well for the big double tank build, and since Bash immobilizes you, you can actually pull the Bash Rampart stun combo with the right turn order. Your Poet doesn't really need much mastery, as Intimidate Plus is worthless and Solemnity Upgrade is overkill until endgame. Withstand you normally want by N2, though it's not entirely necessary, and Bash and Reflection are situational upgrades. For trinkets, there are a number of tank trinkets, mostly in the Tangle. The elite rare Tangle trinkets Reverberating Readout, Clenching Claw, and Calibrating Sensor are top targets. Misstep is another one that will often just win you the game by making you unkillable. Poet is a pretty solid tank for any lair boss, excelling against Harvest Child and Librarian for the same reasons as Tempest. Leviathan is good too with the move resist, though not as good as Sergeant because of the lack of guard. I also respect Poet against all the Act bosses, Act 4 especially for the block removal. In Act 2 you have Permataunt, and the weak is nice too, though you take up Hellion's rank 1 slot, making the boss overall slightly more difficult. It's a good kit, just not quite as good as Man-at-Arms, and is definitely weaker overall as a tank. It's more if you want something different, or if you want to run both. Monarch is a dumb meme, nuking your damage and health versus most of the game and boosting you against Cosmic, which include Cultists and the Act bosses. The main problem here is you don't get near enough boost in these fights to make up for the rest of the run. This comp is a rank 1 only build that is sort of a hybrid Tempest Poet. You get Vuln application on Purge and Intimidate, so they both go on the bar. Obviously, Solemnity is eternal. I usually round out the kit with Hue in the trash fights, as this attack isn't affected by the Chop nerf, though Hue still just sucks in general. Obviously, against Cultists, you put Chop back on and swing away. Without the debuff resist, you usually need Reflection to clear blind, depending on how much combo you have. In the Cosmic fights, I take off Purge and put on Revenge for your scaling. This is a rank 1 only hero that is absolute trash in the normal fights, and as such you need to surround him with an elite tank, Man-at-Arms, and some elite DPS as well to basically bide your time until you get to the Act boss. The Vuln is helpful for your big DPS, so usually you just go spam Intimidate in the non-cultist fights. Chop in Cosmic is still weaker than Tempest for some reason, but you move to spam that in the cultist fights of course, meaning for the most part you also need combo application as well to succeed. The trinkets are the same as Tempest, though you can go for defensive and dot resist builds against normal mobs. This is pretty trash in all the lair fights, though the Vuln can help I guess, and Purge is still useful for the Librarian. It's okay in Act fights, but you do less damage than Tempest, so all you actually get is an okay HP boost, which is normally not as relevant since you always pair Tempest with a real tank anyways. I just don't run this nonsense. Overall, the Leper is a fun build with 2 very distinct paths, and a surprisingly wide array of utility skills that make him a fit against most of the bosses in this game. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every day.